We'll look at some of the factoring problems there from section 3 on page 900. I'll do the first 5 or 6 of those. Number 1, x squared plus 7x plus 10. Equals 0. So remember, this puts all of the factoring steps together. You have to go through each and every time in order to end up with the correct answer. Is there a common term we can take out of those 3 terms there? No. There's no letter that all 3 have, and there's no number that they all 3 have. So there's nothing you can take out. How many terms are involved in step 2, difference of squared? 2. How many terms do we have there? 3. So you know it's not step 2. It is a trinomial. And that's step 3. That's where we're at now. Since there's no number out here in front of the x squared, we can put those in the front. And then we have to determine our signs. And what will those be? Pluses. Again, we look at the second sign here. Second plus right there means same as the first, and the first one is plus, so both of your signs will be pluses. And then we need factors of what? 10 with a sum of 7. What are they? 5 and 2. So again, that's not the end. We have to tell you where they cross the x-axis. Where do those cross? So you need to write x equals -5 and -2. That's your final answer. That's where they cross. Number 2, x squared plus 8x minus, 3x squared equals 75x. So what's the problem here? Not set equal to 0. We have to move the 75x, and how do we do that? Subtract the 75x from both sides. So you're going to have 3x squared minus 75x. You can't actually do that, so you're just writing it. 3x squared minus 75x. Now that equals 0. So what's the first step we go through? Common term. Is there a common term there? We can take a 3 out. Anything else? Yeah, this one has an x squared, this one has an x, and the smallest one you can take is an x. So 3 over 3 is 1. What's x squared divided by x to the first? X, so that's what you have left from the first term, minus 75 over 3, 25, and the x's cancel. Now, just make sure you don't have anything else there. So step 2 is difference of squares. Do we have that here? Do we almost have it there? What would we need? If this were x squared, that would be difference of squares, but it's not, so we don't have that. And there's no trinomial up there, so you have checked everything. So make sure then that you set this 3x equal to 0 also. So if we divide by 3 there, what do we get? Right, x equals 0, and over there, what would we get? So positive 25. So x equals 0 and 25 would be where that one would cross. Now, one thing about this that's nice, that's better than graphing, if you were to graph that parabola in your calculator right there, this wouldn't even be close to showing up on your screen. You'd have to make your screen, your window, a lot bigger in order to see that. So it would be confusing. If you couldn't see it on there, you wouldn't know which way to even move your window in order to find that out. So that's another reason why factoring is good. Number 3. What do we need to do on number 3 first? subtract the 9. So I'm going to do that as I write it up there. 2x squared plus 7x minus 9 equals 0. Is there a common term there? No, so we put our parentheses. But we will have a number in front, so we have to leave room in front of the x's this time. And what will our signs be? Different. So since this is a level 4 problem, I wouldn't put those signs in. I would just make sure you know the signs are different. So factors of 2 and 9 with a what? A difference of 7. What are the factors of 2? Factors of 9. There we go. We're looking for a difference of 7. 9 minus 2. So we pair this one with the 9, gives us 9. Pair the 2 with the 1, gives us 2, and 9 minus 2 is 7, our middle number. So we have 4 numbers, 1, 2, 1, 9. They all have to go in here. How do we know which one, or which ones can we plug in right now? One of the 2. Where do they have to go? With the x's. It doesn't matter which one you put where. The next 2 do. These first 2, you just make sure they're with the x's. That's all that matters. And looking over there then, what did we partner up with the 2? This one. And remember, pairs go outside and inside. It's FOIL, O and I. So we paired with the 2, the 1, with the other 1, what did we pair? 9. So it has to go there in the middle. So 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2. Which one of those is your bigger number? The 9 is your bigger number. And this problem, because all we have left to do is put the signs in. This problem, the 9 has to be positive or negative. How do we know? Because we need the same as this middle number. The middle number there is positive 7. So our bigger number 9 here has to be positive. So if we make that negative, we would have negative 9 times 1, right? But we don't want that. We want positive 9. So the other one has to be negative. Question.
You know how you put the 2 first for the x and the 1?
Yes.
Doesn't matter. I did that backwards. And I did 1
Put the 1 here and the 2 there. That's fine. Just make sure your other pairs go where they're supposed to.
So then it's the bigger number still. Because I got, it would be 2 times 9 would be 18.
Then, yeah, you didn't put your 9 where it's supposed to go.
That's what I did on the other side.
So 2x plus 9 equals 0. So negative 9 halves is one of the places that would cross. Where's the other one? Negative 9 halves and positive 1. So write those out if you need to. There's nothing wrong with writing x minus 1 equals 0 and adding it over and showing x equals 1. But I do think the majority of you have the ability to look at that and know it's x equals positive 1. Is that number 3?
Yeah, can you go back up?
Number 4. Again, I'm going to move everything over there where it needs to be. So we're going to have 8x squared. And we have to subtract or add the 40x over. So plus 40x and minus 48 equals 0. So we have a common term there. What? 8 will go into everything. So we take an 8 out. So we have 1x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Do we need to worry about that 8 up front? No. So if it's just a number out there, cross it off, it's gone. If there's a letter, like there was here, we took the 3x out, we do have to set that equal. If it has a letter with it, you can't cross it off. Down here, we just had that 8 out front. You don't have to worry about that anymore. That's gone. So step 2 is not there. Step 3, trinomial, that's where we're at. And what will your signs be on this one? Different. And since there's no numbers in front of the x, you can go ahead and put them in, plus minus. And we need factors of what? 6 with a difference of 5. What are they? 6 and 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. Our middle number, is it positive or negative? Positive. So our bigger number, which is 6, has to be positive. So where would that one cross? Negative 6 and 1. Number 5. 5x squared minus 20x equals 0. Common term? Take a 5, is that it? Take a 5x out. So 5x squared divided by 5x, what would you have left? Just an x minus 20 over 5 is 4, and the x is canceled. So we check step 2, is that difference is squared? Do we have a difference? Same as one earlier, it's not x squared here. So we don't have it. So where would this one cross? 0 and 4. Because that's not 5 plus x, that's 5x. If you divided that by 5, you're going to get x equals 0.
If you write it like x equals 0 and then x equals positive 4, is it okay to write it like that? Or
Yeah, however you want to. X equals 0 and x equals 4 would be fine. And the last one I'll do for you is number 6. 16x squared minus 64 equals 0. So who recognizes what that is? It is difference of squares. So what's wrong with just going straight to difference of squares? Yeah, so don't get ahead of yourself and say, well, that's difference of squares and split that up. Don't ever skip step 1, even if you see that step 2 exists. So we can take a what? A 16. Could take an 8 also, but you want the bigger. And you would get x squared minus what? 4 equals 0. So what do we not worry about? 16. It will mess you up. If you had just taken an 8 out, you'd still have a common term inside here that you'd have to take out. So yeah, you always have to take the biggest number that goes into them. So do we have difference of squares this time? Yeah, x squared minus 4. We don't even have to think about what the factors are. You just write x plus 2, x minus 2 equals 0. So where will that one cross? 2 and negative 2. And something new for today, that means 2 and negative 2. That's red plus or minus 2. So you could have written these problems over here that way. Like 24 here, you could have written plus or minus 9. Here you could have written plus or minus 3. You'll have that happen a lot. So I just get used to writing that right now. That means positive or negative 2 is answers. Plus or minus 2. Questions on any of those before you carry on there?